Don't you love it when things are both easier and more affordable? Like when the rain washes your car for you. Or like when you save up to 10% by bundling your renters and auto insurance with USAA. Bundle with USAA and start saving. Get a quote today.
You're the perfect blend of elegance and style, and your ride should be no different. The 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid meets all your needs, from business to brunch and everywhere in between. With head-turning details like a sleek front end, plus stylish interior, and an available 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster and seamless tech integration. Okay, Hyundai. Visit HyundaiUSA.com to learn more about the new 2024 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid.
Uh-oh. The last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Springfest at Lowe's means can't miss savings for your home and lawn. Right now, buy 3 bags, get 3 free on Miracle-Gro 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on select exterior paint and stain via mail-in rebate. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 4/16, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See rebate form for complete list of eligible products. Offer excludes clearance and mistints and can't be combined with any other offer, promotion, discount, or coupon.
Drink it in, man. What is up, loyal, die-hard Detroit Koolaid drinkers? This is your boy Okri coming at you on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. You guys know what it is. Serving up that delicious Honolulu blue flavored Kool-Aid. Say it 3 times fast. Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man. Side of cornbread.
Cornbread!
Make it a double.
Cornbread!
And I'm coming at you today. I'm switching up my setup because me and At Chops in the D are planning to do our draft marathon pod where we literally get on the mic before round 1. We talk for all of round 1. We have takes. We have Chops working the DKC Google sheet. We've got me in the DTO scouting office working the old school yet very effective magnet boards and best available and needs and everything we got going in here. So I'm hoping the quality turns out alright for this Kool-Aid packet. But I'm actually using the wireless mic because I need to be able to walk around, work the boards, talk to Chops. So this is a little dry run here on this Kool-Aid packet. Again, we do these on Mondays and Fridays. We keep them a little bit shorter. We get you that Wednesday flagship, which is 30, 45, an hour, however long we go. So you get 3 pods a week from us. We appreciate all the support and all the love. But let me kind of walk you through what I got going on in the DTO scouting office. And I got to admit, like I've literally been scrambling because, as you guys know, with the way the season ended, it's kind of like everybody was frustrated and we got a great football team. So like the draft hasn't been our Super Bowl or top of mind. It's still my favorite event of the year, no question. But I just been not only late on the process, I kind of have a good enough system now where I can actually wait until the end of the process and get the latest rankings and do what I got to do in the old DTO scouting office to make it all work. And then sure enough, before you know it, Thursday will be here, Friday, Saturday, recap Sunday. It's going to come and go very quickly. But I do think our Lions, are going to get great football players. They're going to help their team and going to be very, very helpful here in the 2025 football season, where I do think we're going to win the Super Bowl. as we've said multiple times here on the pod. So we don't have time to mess around. Let me go ahead and get up from my chair here in the office here, in the DTO scouting office. And when I look to my left, I've got my positional rankings. And the way I did this year is we kind of use a default, system, because me and Chops, we barely got enough time to do one pod, let alone 3 pods, let alone all this draft work that we try to do. We do enjoy it, but we can't customize our rankings. So we use kind of a default set of rankings, and then we just split the players up, and then obviously come draft day, we're going to make our selections based on our likes, not necessarily these rankings. But what I did is, so when you're looking at the different positions, I have the players, from top to bottom in those rankings. But one thing I did this year that I haven't really done much before, I've done the horizontal board before, where you have all of them ranked, 1 to 200, but you also rank them be around and across the board horizontally against other players. What I did more on this positional magnet board that I got going is position ranks, but then I just broke them up into little batches by tier. So almost like, round 1 guys and round 2, and that's more based on their ranking more so than but I wanted to see where's that break point, so I don't just see 1 to whatever and then also have the guys at the bottom. I mean, those might be guys in the 400 ranked. We want to push those guys down, have that little bit of break. Where are the tiers? Where do these guys fall off? That way, when you're looking at round 1, if you're looking at positional ranks, you got to go across the top row of breakouts so that you're not getting a round 2 or round 3 guy in the mix when you're looking at it. So that was pretty fun. It's a little staggered. It's a little different than what I've done in the past, but I think it will give me a nice look at, if I'm looking at a position, but all the top guys for that round are gone and I'm into that next breakout, I might look at another position and kind of see, get the best available and get a higher tiered player based on, what I'm looking at in the rankings. So I got that to my left, positional rankings. You come over here to the other side of the room, I've got kind of the Oakley mock where I've got 1 to 32. I've got some magnets listed of players and where I think they will go. I also have some alternatives, of what I think may happen or who may go where. I'm not going to reveal that yet. I am looking at it. I do have 32 players, one for each team in round 1, somewhat positioned with a couple alternatives, but we may do that on a pod, a Koolaid packet. I'm going to save that for now, but that's kind of my, hey, I just want to keep up with round 1 especially, and I want to see that at a quick glance. So I have that out there. I also have kind of round 2 and 3 right next to it. So once round 1 is done, I kind of carry over those players that didn't get selected, move them into that round 2, round 3 batch, rank them based on, I don't do it as much as oh, here's who I think the Texans are going to take, or, oh, I wonder what the Giants are going to do in round 2. I'm more concerned with just the Lions, but then also, I'm not as concerned the last few years with those top guys that we know are unobtainable or just don't make any sense for our team, whether it be quarterbacks, certain skill positions. We are very focused on the Lions, our defense, our overall team. So when I'm going through, I just sort of put guys to those other teams as a helpful tool, but I'm more worried about, okay, where's that batch of players that I think will be there, fit what the Lions are looking for, and then try to sort those out, A to Z, stack them as I need. As I look to the right of that board, kind of rounds 1, 2, 3 type stack, I have a Detroit Lions Oakley kind of target board. Now, you've heard me do some Koolaid packets where I say these are my stacks, these are different guys, not necessarily always in perfect order, but guys I want to have on my short list so that I don't. Sometimes when you do all this, whether it be on a spreadsheet or how I have it here in the office and set up, sometimes you get kind of bogged down by so many names. Wow, we got 400, 500 ranked guys, and I gotta get them all up just in case. It's what I found much more helpful is to boil that 400 players down into 50 to 75 that are and I can't say they're all Lions guys. If I could sit down and interview each of these guys, if I could see their whole bio, if I read up on them from A to Z, I have a much better feel for who fits and who doesn't, whether it be the culture, how they were brought up, their, mental character, their physical abilities. But we don't get that deep, to be honest. I know there are some social media people, some fans, some even experts that like to get down into all those little nuts and bolts. And great, I know Dane Brugler, he's got the beast out for the Athletic. He loves to dive into the backgrounds and the history and the stats and the, all the metrics. And it's like, that's all fine and well, but for me, it's much more of a feel, what I've heard, what I've been able to kind of.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Wow, this house is cute. But can I really get in the game in this economy? I do have savings, and I am responsible-ish. I should bury it. I'm being wild. But what if I'm not being wild, though? Could I actually score a...
Kick off your home buying journey with Zillow's new BuyAbility tool. It makes it easy to find out what you can afford, so you can get off the bench and onto the playing field with confidence. Check your BuyAbility, only on Zillow.
Is anyone out there?
Another salesperson enduring the endless search. Exhausting. If you want to get right to the right conversations, you need LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Whether you're looking for new leads or strengthening existing relationships at your top accounts, get right to the right conversations with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Try LinkedIn Sales Navigator now with a free 60-day trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial.
Terms and conditions apply!
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra is giving you the chance to win tickets to the NBA Finals. That's right, the 2025 NBA Finals. Just head to michelobultra.com/NBA Finals. Michelob Ultra Courtside NBA Finals Sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents, excluding Maryland residents. 21 up. Begins at 9 a.m. EST on February 16, 2025. Ends on May 5th, 2025. See official rules at michelobultra.com/rules for price and details. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
You almost take it as a whole throughout the process. I'm listening to pods, I'm reading up, I'm knowing players from the college game that I like, that I didn't like. I'm weeding guys out based on things I hear, things I see, and I do it much more by feel. Who fits the Lions? What type of players do I like? What do they like? Who do I think will be good? Who's a fit? Who's not? I kind of always joke. Obviously, Brad Holmes knows more than all of us, but I think he's kidding everybody when he acts like he doesn't pay any, care whatsoever to position. You have to pay since almost all these picks, when we go through these on draft night, they're almost very easy to pluck out because NFL teams, they take the best available player at a position of need at the best value. That's what they do. Yes, of course, sometimes they're going to take an oddball pick, or every once in a while they're going to take a guy where they're already stacked, like we did a couple years ago. We had multiple RBs, but we took a great football player in the multi-dimensional, positionless. Wait for it. Elite weapon. That'll happen from time to time, but most of the time you look at the board, you're like, okay, this team needs this. This is the top guy on the board. It's a nice pick right here, and that's what they call out. That's what Roger Goodell says for that team. It's not as difficult as you think, but these GMs that want to make you feel like, we don't ever look at positions. All we do is take BPA. Well, then why are you passing on the top quarterback when he's there mid-round 1? Why are you passing up on this stud defense? Oh, because you already have players at that position. Great, exactly. So, you can just throw that myth out the window right there. So I got my Okri, and what I did is I just went A to Z again based on these rankings. I stacked them offense and defense. I will give you those names here at the end of the pod, so stay tuned, of the Okri Lions, targets, maybe. And when I really stacked it, it was really heavy on defense. There was probably only a handful of players, if that I really had as a top priority offensively. But then I did, dig down all the way down into the 150s, 180s of the rankings to put some more offensive players up there. And also what I do is once they're up there, those players are probably going to last me into rounds 4, 5, 6. It's plenty to get through a draft just with these targeted guys or these short lists on offense and defense. You do not have to have hundreds of players on both sides of the ball. And then the other thing I have is a overall 1 to 100 right now for the first 1 or 2 rounds, and then I will restack that with another probably 100 plus players, just so I can, as those guys come off, I usually put them with the team that selected them. So when I want, I can look at my position board, I can look at my overall board, I can look at my Lions targets, and that's what helps me make the live, on the clock, Detroit Koolaid live Lions, Okri, choppy picks that we love to look back on years and years later. We'll probably even do a pod on that at some point of okay, you guys give all this credit to Brad, always go for business homes. Look at what Okri and at Chops and the D did the last couple of years with our live on the clock selections from the beach, if you're Chops, or me at the office here, or sitting on our phones, or watching on TV. You know what I mean? It's pretty eye-opening, and you guys have a lot of you that love the draft are sitting there too at home going, yeah, Okri, I'm right there with you. I'm making these picks, and look at all these stud players I got. It's not ridiculously difficult if you know ball, if you're willing to put in a little work, and if you're willing to watch the board and then take a really good football player. The other side of the coin is that, when you start getting into rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, there's plenty of years I look back and say, wow, I thought I had a great player there, and he ended up working at the bowling alley after 1 or 2 years of football. That happens too. But also, the top guy.
It's time to rewrite the vacation rules. With Royal Caribbean, your family can look forward to just about anything. Break the thrill barrier, roaring down the tallest water slide in North America. Jump into breathtaking jungles and jaw-dropping coves. Vibe off the charts on our private island Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And end the day knowing things are just getting started. Because this isn't just any vacation. This is all the vacations. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
We're shipping Easter gifts with a rapid-fire round of questions. Ready?
Yes. My gift. Can you pack it?
Yep.
Ship it?
Yes.
Guarantee it?
Of course.
Oh, send gift baskets?
For sure.
Protect electronics? Dog-proof it? Return it if they hate it?
Yes, no, and yeah.
Are you the UPS store?
Hey, we have a winner!
Visit theupsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Visit a store today.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Guys, and even finding those gems in the middle rounds every once in a while is great, and also realizing that yes, NFL GMs that get paid millions and millions of dollars also miss a ton. They also have a trouble hitting 50%, so it's definitely not an exact science. So that's kind of how I have it laid out. You know, we will have, like I said, Chops working the Google Sheet where we have team needs, we have stacks, we have some of our short lists. It's a lot to look over, so it's nice to have Chops kind of help with a little bit of it. But I can definitely get by just with what I have here in the room. And the other thing I found recently with the NFL draft is it's important just to enjoy it. You know, it only comes once a year. It's only 3 days long. The first 2 days are really the most important. Day 3, to be honest, I found a little bit tedious the last couple of years. I don't skip it like Chops does every year, where he says he got to go cut the grass, or he's got to go, do the dishes, or he has some stupid task that could be done any other time. I still hang in there for day 3, but it's not one where you're hanging on every player and you're really having these targeted guys that I got to have this guy in round 6. It's much more like trying to keep up with the sheet, trying to have a few names every time the Lions pick. If they trade, just making sure you can make a pick before they do to keep the process on the up and up when it comes to the live picks. That way we're not waiting till they pick, say, oh yeah, I was going to take so-and-so. But I have found day 3 to be a little tough. Just there's so many picks. They're coming off kind of rapid fire, a little hard to keep up with, as well as days 1 and 2. Round 1, huge, super important to a football team. The bloodline of your football team, and Brad Holmes knows that better than anybody. Days 2 is actually my favorite day of the draft. Rounds 2 and round 3, I feel like you get tremendous football players at great positions of need at tremendous value. And by that, I mean guys that should have been taken in round 1 that slipped to round 2. Guys that you can't believe are there in round 3 that you take that make no money, that are stud players that grow into be incredible values that you end up paying, but for 2, 3, 4 years you have on a tremendous clearance rack coupon that totally changes your football team. So day 2 is my day. Some of these people that tell you they love day 3 where they're grinding out these people in round 6. Oh, I love undrafted free. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you're just a fan or you're somebody who's sitting at home doing this like I do. But what's crazy too, I was thinking about it the other day, the Lions have really done well in undrafted free agency. You know, quite a few players they're picking up every year, whether it be, and when I say quite a few, I mean 2, 3, 4 guys that either help you on special teams or are depth players or guys that have made this roster. That's very impressive because there are always, I'd probably say, anywhere from 8, 10, 15 players that I'll still have magnets on. And I'm like, man, how's that guy still there? Or, man, I hope the Lions get him. And they usually get 1 or 2 of those names when it's all said and done. But, it is rare to get an undrafted free agent that not only makes your football team, but makes a huge impact. And as a guy you look back years later, you're like, wow, I cannot believe we got him. Can't believe what he's doing now. What a find. But credit to Brad Holmes. He's found a few of those. And to be honest, we don't track those, but there's been multiple guys each year the last few years where I'm saying, man, I hope the Lions get this guy in undrafted free agency. They do, and a couple of those have definitely worked out. So don't have the names at the tip of my tongue, but I know that has happened, and we can look back in the old Twitterverse and see me throw out some names and match them up to who the Lions took. And quite a few of those washed out as well. Oh, man, I want this guy. Oh, the Lions get him. I hope he's going to be good. He's got this. And then he just does nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's happened as well. But everybody, let's look at this. I'm probably at about 15, 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and just read off these Oakry Lions targets that I've got up now. And these can change before draft day. They definitely will change. These aren't all obtainable. These are, I want them there in case. They're not in perfect order by any means. They're more in default rank order. But offense and defense.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
When you think about your future, you know what calls to you. Meaningful work, happiness, growth, and sharing these values with others. But how will you find all of that? There are many paths forward, including one you may not have considered. The military provides countless opportunities to pursue your calling, where you can be part of something bigger than yourself, while still being yourself, and having the future you want. You have a calling, we have an answer. Learn more at todaysmilitary.com.
Your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for an Oikos remix or light and fit remix. Like a crunchy storm of sea salt praline pretzels, dark chocolate, and butter toffee, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 6 remix varieties, 3 Epic Complete Protein Oikos remix options, or 3 craveable light and fit remix options. See remixyogurt.com.
BTW FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustral implant, 68 milligrams RadioPublic. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
Campfire season's back, and that means s'mores. But when you're at home treating yourself, take them over ice with Dunkin' S'mores Cold Brew Concentrate. And suddenly you're always treating yourself. The home with Dunkin' is where you want to be. Click or tap the banner to shop now.
Weeding out the top guys, weeding out most guys that will be totally unobtainable. And yeah, let me give you some of these names just so you can have these on your radar. Maybe you think I'm crazy, maybe you hate half these names, but this is kind of some magnets, some guys I pulled off to the side to say, let me have them on my short list for the Lions. So let's go defense first. It's obviously most important. So Shamar Stewart, he's the top ranked on our default, but I have listened to multiple pods, read up on some things that there's some experts, media guys that, they don't love Shamar Stewart. He can't do this. He can't do that. He doesn't have production. Most guys that don't have production don't end up being good. So they put a few things in my head to have some worries about Shamar Stewart, even though you love his athleticism, you love his size, 6'5", 270 plus, young player, everything it takes, but just has no production and has other things that you do not like on tape that you might not be able to coach up or get around. But for now, he's on that Lions possible list. Michael Williams is a guy I've heard a lot of good things about here recently. The edge from Georgia, another big guy, 6'5", 260 plus. Some people were like, man, if he's there at 28, that'd be incredible. He's probably going to go much, much higher than that. But he's got to at least be there if possible. And same with this player. This guy's been tumbling down the draft board, actually. But Malachi Starks, another player that probably won't be there. If he is, the Lions might have a consideration. And I've seen him literally in multiple mocks. 20, 25, 28, 29, 30. So he may be in the top 15 on these default rankings or so, but he may tumble down the board into the mid-late first round. Same with Walter Nolan. You see him everywhere from 12, 15 range down to 30, 31, 32 maybe. It's crazy with him. Will Johnson's on my list. Another polarizing prospect. Some people absolutely love him. Other people have lots of questions. Jalen Walker, same thing from Georgia. What does he do well? He's a little bit smaller. Is he an off-the-ball player? Is he a rush player? Lots of things to like, but lots of questions. Mike Green, everybody loves him for the Lions, but he's got size concerns. Does he play with power? Oh, but Oakley had that play at the Senior Bowl where he ran. And I get it, he ran somebody over, but he's not the ultimate power player. He does have that grit mentality. There's also some red flags. You got Donovan Ezeraku. He seems to be real safe to me. Other than his general size of only 6'2", 250, he seems to be safe, long arms, very productive. Seems like a very safe type pick. Jahdae Barron, you want to go corner again. He might be in the mix, or he might go top 15. We'll see what happens. Derek Harmon, horrible spelling of the first name. And I've actually grown on this player's grown on me because he's another one that's I haven't heard much bad about. He's safe. He's stout. He's got some Detroit roots. Not that that really matters. He's just he went to Sparty land, so that's a negative, but he's a very stout interior 3 technique on defense that I could get behind if they think they need that. I mean, if you take a player like that, you think he's going to replace certain guys when they leave. You think he's just better than the guys you currently have. He's just too good to pass up. But I do like the football player, and especially the character and just how safe he is. There's no red flags. He's a horrible player against the run or the pass. He just does a lot of things well. Jahad Campbell, the interior linebacker from Alabama that can also rush the quarterbacks on my list. Kenneth Grant, the one tech. The main reason Kenneth Grant's still there for me is you just can't have enough big, athletic D linemen. Just like you can have enough good O linemen that can play for you. So he's special in that regard, even if you already have people there. I know I said maybe we don't need him, but we need him because you can't find guys that are 330 plus that can move like he does. Maxwell Harrison, the corner from Kentucky. Lots of good things I've heard about him. No major red flags. I don't think that jumps out super fast. Nick Scorton. This is when you get into some of the round 2, round 3, whatever it may be. But these are guys like Nick Scorton, Benjamin Morrison, the corner from Notre Dame, Princely. You know what it is from OLE, Ole Miss. He's still in the mix for me. Landon Jackson, the edge from Arkansas, is in the mix for me. Darius Alexander. I've kind of been hot and cold on this player. One of the youngest players in the draft. I did not know that till recently. I think he's barely 20 years old. Again, another 3 tech. See if the Lions think that is a need. They tell you they don't look at that, but I'm sure they do. Will they take that type of player with that type of premium selection? Jordan Birch, edge from Oregon. I need to do a little bit more homework, but I've heard him kind of in that round 2, round 3 type mix. Nice size, good position of need type of player. JTT from that school we shall not speak of. Josiah Stewart from Michigan. He's got to be on the list. The Lions seem to love him. They met with him a ton. Jack Sawyer, edge from Ohio State. Another first and last name I can't pronounce. Well, the last name I guess I can do. Oladejo from UCLA, edge player. Decent, different type size, gets after the quarterback. Barrett Carter, outside linebacker from Clemson. Jared Ivey made my list just because I saw a couple interviews and I really liked his character. Seemed like a thoughtful, smart guy. I know there's some people that hate his play or think that he can't do this, he can't do that. Hey, he's got the size. I liked his character. He seemed to be smart, and I think he could be at least a need filler if the Lions like him. Danny Sussman and David Walker, edge, Central Arkansas. I heard him recently. I think it was on a PFF show getting talked up. I did a little homework. I'm like, oh, I like this David Walker from Central Arkansas. Gets after the quarterback. Very good kid, power player, does a lot of nice things. So I'm actually running long on this Kool-Aid packet. So I'm actually just going to do rapid fire here on offense. You guys know Gray Zabel, my boy, is up top for all the reasons we've talked about. Versatile, great guy, competitor. Emeka Ibuka is actually on my list now for the Lions just because he's so safe, he's so smart. But he does similar things to Amon Ra. But I don't care because if the Lions want to go receiver, he's very safe. Could be another nice pick and even replace guys like J-Mo if they end up moving on. I'm torn. Like, I think J-Mo would be great to keep here. It just depends on the price. I'd love it if they could get J-Mo done early, like on a nice deal that was good for him but also good for the team. But if he's holding out for crazy money, I would think they'd probably move on from him, but we'll see what happens. Tyler Booker made my list. Just keep an eye on Jonah. You know what his last name is, from Arizona. Big interior offensive guard is on my list. Yeah, I put Donovan Jackson on my list from that school down south. Just keep an eye on him. Tez Johnson, you guys know that's my boy. Lots of speed, lots of shake, gets open quick. Great kid. Jack Beck, the wide receiver from TCU, is on my short offensive list because he just does everything right. He's big. No, he's not tall. He's only 6'1", 6'2", but 215. Just looks like that bigger Cooper Kupp type that just kind of gets open and smart as could be and does everything right. Jalen Nolan, kind of a slot speed type player from Iowa State. Made my kind of watch list here. Tate Rutledge from Georgia. Mason Taylor, the tight end from UCLA, son of Jason Taylor. Jared Wilson, the interior player that can play, I think he's only played center, so I almost left him off my list because when I look at those interior, I want an interior guy that can or has played center rather than just a strict center. But this guy's big and physical and from Georgia and could be something that they're interested in. Jalen Royals, a wide receiver from Utah State, is a guy I've always been intrigued by. I've seen him a little bit in college. Good type of player if you're looking for a wide receiver. Elijah Arroyo just gets open, spread type tight end from the U. Shout out Benny Blades. We've got my boy Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green at tight end as well. Xavier Restrepo from the U. Again, another slot player, but very productive, very smart, intriguing. Torrey Horton, wide receiver, Colorado State. Me and Chops both like him. Anthony Belton, offensive tackle, has made my list based on things I've heard and read about as maybe a consideration. I think I heard recently that a ton of the league has either met with this guy or are intrigued by him at a tackle spot, so he's going to make my list. I don't think the Lions love players that are 330 plus. They like guys that can move, so he may come off my board, but he's there for the time being. You guys know I like Jaden Blue from Texas. Brashad Smith, wide receiver / running back from SMU, is somebody I'm intrigued by. Dylan Fairchild, the offensive guard from Georgia. And at the bottom of my offensive list, we got my boys, Clay Webb and Jonah Gray, both interior type players from Jacksonville State and Oregon State, respectively. So, that's a lot. So, those are not my only guys. Those are not in perfect order, but those are a ton of names that I think somewhat fit the Lions that you guys can think about. And that's the DTO scouting ops. I'm excited. I cannot wait to kind of get clear of all the busyness of life on that Thursday. Enjoy Friday. Enjoy Saturday. Talk about it on Sunday. You know what I mean? All the recap is always so crazy, and it will be fun if Chops can get his life together and actually squeeze out the time to be here. Day 1, Day 2, and I think we need to challenge him. You need to call him out on Twitter. You can find him at Chops in the D. You can hit me up at Derek Oakrey and say, both you fellas need to be there on Day 3 as well and kind of make some picks, talk about it, and make it happen rather than just putting it on Oakrey. So, everybody, that's what I got on this Kool-Aid packet. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on you guys will be hearing it Wednesday morning. The Detroit Koolaid flagship. You know what it is. Everybody, I'm out.
Cornbread!